Last Sunday, the trial of Bassem Tamimi began. According to the Popular Struggle Committee that coordinates the weekly demonstrations in more than a dozen villages and towns throughout the occupied Palestinian territories, his indictment is based on questionable and coerced confessions of youth from the village. His arrest came only 2 weeks after that of Nabi Tamimi, also a central activist in the village. Last Friday in Nabi Saleh, the Real News spoke with Diana Al-Zir, a Palestinian activist from Ramallah. She is part of the March 15th youth movement, whose demand for Palestinian national unity helped create pressure in the recent reconciliation between the Fatah and Hamas parties.
From our own experience, or from what we've seen, is that they do arrest key people or like demonstration organizers. Nabi Saleh started as a very small local thing that was not supported yet by any activist. Now a lot of activists are joining, and I think the Israeli forces are like just frustrated because they've arrested so many people from the village, and they see that every day, every week, the demonstration is actually stronger.
Bassem Tamimi is charged with incitement, organizing and participating in unauthorized processions, solicitation to stone throwing, and failure to attend legal summons. He is also charged with disruption of legal proceedings for allegedly giving youth advice on how to act during police interrogations in the event that they are arrested. His wife Nariman witnessed the night raid when the army first tried to arrest Bassem.
اللي بيجوا الاعتقالات اللي بيجوا بالليل أنا يعني عايشت حالتين من هاي الاعتقالات. أول إشي اعتقال زوجي أجوا أول مرة عشانه وما لقيهوش بالبيت، كيف كسروا البيت وخربوا الدنيا يومها. تاني اعتقال اللي هو اعتقال إسلام وأخوه عمر لأنهم جيراني، وطفل يعني هو كان 14 سنة عمره، وكيف يومها سحبوه من البيت وتم ضربه وما خلوناش نقرب عليه، حتى لما حاولت أنزل أصور حاول يعني تخني بالحي.
During his appearance before the court, Bassem delivered a statement. 18 years ago, my sister was killed in a courtroom such as this by a staff member. In my lifetime, I have been imprisoned 9 times for an overall of almost 3 years, though I was never charged or convicted. During my imprisonment, I was paralyzed as a result of torture by your investigators. My wife was detained, my children were wounded, my land was stolen by settlers, and now my house is slated for demolition. He added, I organized these peaceful demonstrations in order to defend our land and our people. I do not know if my actions violate your occupation laws. As far as I am concerned, these laws do not apply to me and are devoid of meaning. Having been enacted by occupation authorities, I reject them and cannot recognize their validity.
قضية جوزي اللي هو تنظيم مسيرات غير قانونية عمل يعني تنظيم هاي الأطفال زي ما بيحكوا في هاي المسيرة، علما إنه أي حدا بيآمن في فكرة إزالة الاحتلال بدوش حدا يعني ينظمه أو يعمل له أي شيء.
Nabi Saleh is a Palestinian village across the hill from the Israeli settlement of Halamish. Unlike many other villages where weekly protests happened, Nabi Saleh is not separated from the settlement by a fence or a wall, leading many to speculate that the settlers intend on annexing further land. The weekly protests in Nabi Saleh are known for being met with some of the most violent response from the army of all the weekly demonstrations.
We, the people of Ramallah, when we come to Nabi Saleh, we kind of wake up really early and we leave before, we try to get here before the Israelis actually block the roads by their checkpoints. So we leave around 7 o'clock. We get to the town, we try to enter through the main entrances. In case they're blocked, we hike through the mountains. Sometimes it takes an hour, 2 hours, depending on how far we park our cars.
Sometimes, like in the case of last Friday, the army expects the activists in the forest surrounding the village, and they must turn back and try another route.
Okay, so we'll try it, because basically we're walking here, but the soldiers kind of everywhere.
Trying another route means driving to the other side of the village, getting out in the middle of the highway, and hiking quickly up the hills to avoid being spotted by the army.
finally we get to the village, we socialize with the villagers, we stay around, talk to the journalists or do whatever till the noon prayer finishes around 1:15, and that's when the demonstration actually starts. People gather at the center of Nabi Saleh and they start walking down the main road or through the hill, but they eventually try to walk to the main road. The main purpose of the walk is try to reach the water well that was confiscated by the Israelis. It used to be the main source of water for the locals of Nabi Saleh, and that whole area was confiscated, even the land itself. Ever since I started, we never succeeded to reach the water well, because every time we try to get to the main road, they start firing tear gas and sound bombs and sometimes rubber bullets at us.
It feels like I'm being suffocated and held underwater, like burning water, like acidic water, right? Like you can't breathe and your eyes are burning. So it's.
Some people say it's worse in a hot day. Why?
It's worse in a hot day because water activates the gas. Water exacerbates the effects of the tear gas, and so when you're sweating, it makes the experience so much more profound. Like if you touch your eyes and stuff like this, which I'd like to do, but I can't because it will just accentuate what's going on.
And if we're very lucky, they will bring the skunk truck, which is it's a horrible smell. And yeah, it goes on till sunset.
Sometimes activists faint from being caught in clouds of tear gas. This man was treated with oxygen by medics for half an hour before regaining consciousness.
Nabi Saleh من بداية
Nabi Saleh, ever since the village was established, was like a throne in the Israeli occupation land. And Nabi Saleh has around 16 martyrs, 14 prisoners. 4 of them are long life-term prisoners. 1 of them is a female.
Nariman herself was imprisoned. When asked what most of the arrested are charged with, she says,
most of them are either going into illegal demonstrations, walking into demonstrations, or throwing stones.
قانونية.
Our interview with Diana Alzir ended abruptly when the army shot tear gas at the Tamimi house.
Or they're shooting more tear gas now. Exactly. Shit. Yeah, take the little kid. Oh, the tear gas is fucking right here. Maybe you should go in. Wow.
The kids over there.